What is up, everybody? We had Monday Night Raw tonight, and it's finally starting to feel like WrestleMania season. WrestleMania season is well on its way, and you want to know why I know? It's because Roman Reigns has decided to show up to work. But this is WWE's Monday Night Raw Explained, the weekly video series where we take a look at everything that happened on tonight's events. We take a look to see how tonight will shape future storylines, where WWE may or may not be going with some of this stuff, and how things are starting to take shape as we head down the road to WrestleMania. Before we get started, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that bell for notifications. Make sure to like this video, comment on this video, do all the things. If you like wrestling content, you're in the right place. All we do on this channel is wrestling content. So please take a look around. Click on some older videos. If you look around hard enough, I'm sure you're going to find something that you like around here. Now let's talk wrestling. Tonight's show, the opening segment was absolutely by far the best part of tonight's show. We had Seth Rollins come out with all of his hooded guys. They did their little dance. All right, fine. He started cutting a promo against Paul Heyman, basically just saying, like, I created the vision. I can destroy the vision. Anyone who is even remotely aligned with Paul Heyman, like, we have a problem, was essentially what he was saying. Paul Heyman then came out looking like absolute garbage. Kudos to all of the makeup people and the wardrobe people, anyone who made Paul Heyman just look the way he did tonight, because he looked like he's been through it. And that's the story, was that he's been through it. He got stomped a couple weeks back by Seth Rollins. And he came out tonight definitely looking all disheveled. He did come out. He introduced Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar came out, basically destroyed all of the hooded guys that are aligned with Seth Rollins. And I was like, okay, fine. We're going to get Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Not what I want, but I get it. It makes sense. Seth Rollins probably needs a match for WrestleMania. All of the big boys, all of the leaders of the Vision are injured, so he can't fight against Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker. Okay, it makes sense. But no, that's not what we're getting at all, because as they were getting face-to-face, as Brock Lesnar was getting ready to attack Seth Rollins, we get Oba Femi's music. And Oba Femi comes out, and he does a strut. He doesn't care that it's Brock Lesnar. He's taking his time to the ring, gets into the ring, boom, fall from grace on Brock Lesnar. Not a word exchange, not, no punches were exchanged, just boom, one move, out of here, lays Brock Lesnar out in the middle of the ring. Seth Rollins just kind of scurries away. He stands there. He puts his foot on Brock Lesnar's chest. Oba Femi just puts his foot on his chest, and we did get confirmation later that night. We did get confirmation that we are going to get Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Yes, yes, yes. This is the match we all want, right? Absolutely. And Oba Femi needs to destroy Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi needs to make Brock Lesnar look like a jobber, just like he did today. I need Oba Femi to get the win and get it decisively. I think that would do so much for Oba Femi's career. And Brock Lesnar doesn't have much left in him, so why not? Why not put up the new guy on your way out, Brock? But yeah, no, this is the match we all wanted, so we're actually going to get it. Later in the night, we got another segment with the Vision where Paul Heyman basically told Logan Paul and Austin Theory that they need to go after Tag Team Gold. He said they have no leverage right now because they have no gold. The Vision needs gold. You're going to have to beat every tag team in WWE. You're going to have to beat the Usos and eventually have some title around, or have some gold around your waist. So next week, I think it's a non-title match. We're going to get the Usos versus the Vision. Great. I like that this is the route that we're going with this. I like that we're not treating them like they're main eventers all of a sudden. They should go after Tag Team Gold. They're probably going to win because Jimmy Uso is going to get written off TV to go be with his wife and their baby. Great. Perfect. That's what he should do. Plus, I think that the Usos are going to be busy at WrestleMania. I think that Jay is too much aligned with Roman, and he's probably going to get involved in one way or another in that match. So we'll see. But yeah, I thought that this was the right call. I thought that everything with the Vision was great. We're getting Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. So can I complain about anything? No. I do think that Seth Rollins will end up having a match against probably a Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. I think that Braun Breaker will likely return. I mean, fingers crossed, I guess, before WrestleMania. We are going to set that up. Although they did mention tonight, and they've mentioned in the past, that Seth Rollins isn't clear to compete. So who knows? Who knows where they're going with this? But if I were a guessing man, and I'm making a YouTube video about wrestling, so I think I am, it's that we're going to get a Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania once they're both cleared and ready to go. Speaking of the Usos, we did see segments with the Usos and Roman Reigns throughout the night. Like when Roman arrived, the Usos met him, and we're basically like, man, I can't believe CM Punk said that about your dad, man. Like, I hope you give it to him today. I hope he gets it from you today. Like, we had your back. Like, Jimmy's like, it felt so good to punch CM Punk. So they're definitely hinting at some sort of like reunion, maybe bloodline reunion. Even Roman Reigns looked at the camera after all this, and he's like, to anyone in my bloodline who is offended by what CM Punk said, you should be offended, and you should take it upon yourself to go after him and to seek revenge for our family. But before and after WrestleMania, but on that night, he is all mine. So I do think we're gonna get some sort of bloodline storyline here. I do think we're gonna get maybe an introduction to more of Roman's family. Sure, why not? We got even like a backstage segment that really reminded us all of like the good old bloodline days when they were in the locker room. Great. We also had a segment later in the line where LA Knight met with the Usos, and he's like, look, guys, you guys know I have your backs, but if you're aligning yourself with Roman Reigns again and you're doing that bloodline BS, like, consider me out. And Jimmy Uso and LA Knight, gave each other a pound. They yeeted. Yeah. Sure. And then, but Jay didn't give LA Knight a pound. Jay didn't agree with LA Knight. Maybe that's what we're getting at WrestleMania, is LA Knight versus Jay Uso. I don't hate that, honestly, especially considering that whole incident that happened a couple months back where LA Knight took that fan sign that was like, we don't want Jay, we want LA Knight, or something like that. So maybe that's what WWE built. Look, I wouldn't hate that, honestly. Jay Uso versus LA Knight. I think that's a pretty good idea. Because, yeah, Jay's going to need something at WrestleMania, and it's not going to be tag team related, because I do think Jimmy's going to be gone by then. But we'll see. But, yeah, all of this bloodline stuff, I'm intrigued. It's not my favorite. Like, we'll talk about it later. The whole Roman approach to this isn't my favorite. The whole storyline, just, I don't know. It's not quite doing it for me. We'll talk about it later, but this was fine. I like the way that the Usos are being intertwined into this in some way. We had AJ Lee versus Bayley for the IC Championship. Look, I think we all knew that AJ Lee would win this match, and she did. She beat Bayley. She tapped her out with, I think it's the Black Widow, whatever her submission maneuver is. Great, fun match. Like I said, I don't think any one of us expected Bayley to win. After this match, however, AJ Lee was doing all of the babyface things that babyfaces do, saying goodbye to the fans, giving them a high five on her way out. And then she was attacked by Becky Lynch. I keep hitting my desk, I'm sorry. But she was attacked by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee is definitely the match we're going to get at WrestleMania. I hope that WWE gives us some sort of stipulation between these two. Because at this point, the feud has gone on for a while. Not to say it's a bad feud, but it's a blood feud at this point. So hopefully we get, maybe like a first blood match. We haven't seen that in a while. Listen, I just watched the AEW Revolution, so I got blood on my mind. But maybe we get like a first blood match. Maybe we get like an I Quit match, Hell in a Cell. I don't know, something fun. I think we should get more than just a regular one-on-one match for the IC Championship. And I'm hoping that that's where WWE goes with this. But we're definitely going to get AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the IC Championship. Great. No complaints for me there. After this as well, later on in the night, we saw Lyra Valkyria and Bayley have a segment backstage where Bayley was pissed because, like, this was my chance for WrestleMania. And Lyra was like, look, we're going to get you there and we're going to do it together, hinting that they were going to go after tag team gold. They were then interrupted by Asuka and Kairi, who were basically saying the same thing, that they were going to go after tag team gold. Everyone was going to go talk to Adam Pearce. So I think that we're actually getting closer. We're actually getting closer to what I've been asking for as long as I can remember, which is women's tag team TLC. Yes, this feels like a step in the right direction. I hope that that's where they're going with this. It just fingers crossed, but it feels like that's where we're going. There's a whole lot of Judgment Day on tonight's show as well. We had Liv Morgan. She cut a promo, not against Stephanie Vaquer. It was a video package, but but it was against Finn Balor, essentially saying like, look, this is what I've been wanting since I've joined the Judgment Day. Is you don't belong here, I belong here, and now that you're gone, we can actually get to great success. I'm gonna beat Stephanie Vaquera at WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio, he retained at AAA. He retained his Mega Campeonato. He will win his IC championship back, is what she said. It's like Raquel Rodriguez, she's gonna win gold as well, and JD McDonough can finally step out of your shadow, and do something for himself and be the star that he can be. So I like it. I like the way that they're going with the Judgment Day. I hope that everything she said is true. I hope that Raquel Rodriguez wins some sort of gold in the future, in the near future here. I hope that JD McDonough does become a superstar. Yeah, no, great segment. I liked it. Finn wasn't there because I guess they stomped him out and he's gone. Also, apparently, Dominic Mysterio got injured at AAA last week at Rey de Reyes, which, side note, as I was watching that match between Dom and Hijo del Vikingo, I was like, man, Hijo del Vikingo is really a dangerous worker. He was like, when he was like throwing the chairs and stuff, I was like, oh man, like this dude just doesn't feel safe. He doesn't feel like a safe worker. And we've all seen that video where he's stomping on El Grande Americano. You know, El Grande Americano gets pissed off because he keeps stomping on his neck. So I feel like Hijo del Vikingo just isn't a safe worker, and I don't know. I'm noticing little things in his matches that just make me feel a little weird. So that was just a side note. But yeah, apparently Dom is hurt. He was supposed to face Penta tonight, get his rematch for his IC championship. That's not happening. So instead, Penta had a match against a mystery opponent. That mystery opponent was Dragon Lee. And of course, they both put on a great match. That was a fun match. Penta obviously won that match. Penta retained. Maybe we're going to get a triple threat match for the IC championship between Dom and Finn and Penta, which is a repeat of last year, which wasn't a bad thing. But also, Dom and Finn just have actual hatred for each other at this point. So they should have a one-on-one match. I don't know, maybe Dom will win his championship back from Penta, and we'll have a one-on-one match between Dom and Finn for the IC championship. I don't know. This all just feels a little weird. And that's the problem when WWE does a last-minute scramble like this to try to sell tickets. Is it's just the stories just aren't quite right. Yeah, well, Judgment Day all over this show. Like I said, we also had a match between Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer won that match, but look, I had a problem with this match because Stephanie Vaquer is our WWE. I keep hitting my desk. Stephanie Vaquer is our WWE Women's World Champion. So why is she beating Raquel Rodriguez with a roll-up? Raquel Rodriguez had a bunch of offense. Great, fine. Let's book Raquel Rodriguez strong. But why with a roll-up, right? She is a champion. She is our champion. Let's have her win decisively. You can still have Raquel show some offense. You can still keep Raquel looking strong. But hey, Stephanie's a champion for a reason, right? So have her win clean. I also don't like Liv Morgan was getting involved in this match, of course. And Io Sky came out to make the save. Why? Why is Io Sky involved in all this? I understand that Io needs some sort of match at WrestleMania, but why is she getting involved here? She's been off with Rhea Ripley doing the tag team thing, and now Rhea Ripley's gone, sure. But it just felt a little odd that Io Sky was a part of this whole thing. I don't know how I feel about all of this. Bleh. We'll see where WWE goes with this, but it definitely feels like a last-minute scramble. What I did like was that after this match, Michael Cole and Corey Graves did mention that, look, Raquel doesn't win when Liv is ringside with her. So I hope that they're building towards something. Maybe Raquel will align herself with Finn Balor after WrestleMania, and maybe she'll go after Liv Morgan's championship. I think that would be a really good storyline. We'll see. I didn't like that Raquel lost via roll-up to the world champion. And why is Io Sky getting involved here? I don't know. I don't get it. I'm going to speed through a couple of things before we get to the main event segment. But we did get El Grande Americano versus the original Grande Americano. The Rio Grande Americano did come out with the win here with some help from the Americanos, from Rio and Bravo. But this was a fun match. I do think that we will get a mask versus mask match at some point. I don't know if it's going to be a AAA thing or a WrestleMania thing, that's definitely where we're headed. And the real Grande Americano should definitely win that match. We got Natty. She had a match against Maxine Dupree. She tapped out Maxine Dupree with a sharpshooter. The right call. I don't know where they're going with any of this because Maxine hasn't gotten anything in on Natty. Like, she's lost both matches. She hasn't really, I mean, like, she attacked her, I guess, during a commercial segment last week. Fine. But it kind of feels like it's pretty decisive that Natty is the better of the two. So I don't know where WWE's going with this stuff. We had Javon Evans with the New Day. Last week he was trying to get recruited by Kofi Kingston. This week he was just like, no, I'm not joining the New Day. That was after he was like having a moment with Dragon Lee, being like, dang, man, I can't believe you lost, whatever. Then Kofi Kingston pulls him aside. Grayson Waller is like jealous of all this too for some reason. The fun part of this was that they then get approached by Danhausen. Danhausen's like, hey, I can be a part of the New Day. You guys are looking for a new member? Great. And he's about to curse Kofi Kingston. Then Kofi throws Grayson Waller in front of him. So Grayson Waller got cursed by Danhausen. Yeah, I love it. I love the cursing of Danhausen in the back. So I can't wait to see what happens with Grayson Waller throughout all of this. After being cursed by Danhausen, he also had like a commercial T-shirt segment. Which, all right, we get it, WWE. We're pushing Danhausen merch. Fine. Look, I'm glad because Danhausen gets some of that, obviously. But yeah, WWE is just pushing merch too hard at this point. Let's cool off with selling Danhausen T-shirts. Yeah. We also got an interview in quotes between Michael Cole and Randy Orton. So it was a video interview. Randy Orton was like on the phone in the beginning of the interview talking with someone. He's like, hey, yeah, man, like ever since we met, like you got me thinking, like you're a real killer, blah, 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 blah. I really hope it's Ted DiBiase Jr., although I think he's a little busy right now. We bring back Legacy. So yeah, we didn't get any answers here. I don't know. People, I did see a couple things online of people speculating that it was going to be Karrion Kross. I don't think Karrion, because his name in the Indies is Killer Kross. I don't think Karrion Kross is coming back, unfortunately. But yeah, interesting to see who he was on the phone with. Maybe his dad. I don't know. Somebody. He did mention like, oh, wrestling has more than one royal family, you know, because he also comes from a wrestling family. So yeah, we didn't get any answers from Randy Orton, but I thought that was intriguing. You know, who is he on the phone with? I really hope it's Ted DiBiase Jr. And finally, we got to the main event segment, which was, of course, Roman Reigns came out to the ring. He called out CM Punk. They had a face-to-face. I thought Roman Reigns would have more to say, more to do. This felt really disappointing for Roman Reigns fans out there because he didn't say much, and at the end of it all, he got punched out by CM Punk, who he called old, by the way, and that's what did it for CM Punk. Like, they've been talking trash for weeks and weeks and weeks, and CM Punk, sure, like, he went a little low and talked about his dad, right? But, like, he hadn't gotten physical with Roman because, you know, CM Punk is CM Punk, and he just laughs it all off. But apparently, when Roman Reigns called CM Punk old, that did it for CM Punk. And he was like, enough's enough. And then enough's enough, and it's time for a change. Let me know in the comments if you know whose theme song started with that. But anyway, he got punched out by CM Punk because he called him old. Because Roman Reigns called CM Punk old, so CM Punk punched Roman Reigns in the face. Weird. There's also a shout out to Samoa Joe during this whole thing. That was fun. He's like, because Roman kept calling him Phil. He's like, you keep calling me by my government name. He's like, I'm not going to call you Joe. What do you call him? He did say something that maybe it was a little racist, CM Punk. He like made up a name that I didn't like that part. But he's like, I'm not going to call you Joe because that would be insulting to a Samoan I know and I love, whose name is Joe. Obviously Samoa Joe, so that was great. I don't think Samoa Joe's coming to WWE now, by the way. It was just a shout out to his friend. Yeah, I don't know. This whole segment, CM Punk was like, yeah, you sent your cousins after me last week, blah, blah, blah. It just feels like more of the same, and it just feels like it's not building like WWE wants it to. This segment alone was like a 2.5 out of 5. And I get that like it's supposed to be a slow build, and then like it's all gonna like blow up right before WrestleMania. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just not like the match itself is gonna be great, and like the idea of Roman versus CM Punk for a world championship, absolutely give it to me 5 times a day, right? Give it to me 7 days a week, 5 times a day. I don't care. I want this match all the time. But the build between them just doesn't do it. It just isn't doing it for me. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but it just feels like it's like okay, like Roman says he hates CM Punk, but like why? Right? Like give me a reason, give me some sort of evidence of that hate. Yeah, so that's how Raw went off the air. Well, CM Punk punched Roman Reigns after Roman Reigns called him old, after going back and forth for a while, trying to figure out whose show Monday Night Raw was. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Not my favorite segment between these two. Not my favorite segment in the build. Not my favorite Monday Night Raw so far. So there you have it. Those are all of the things, all of the major things that happened during Monday Night Raw. I don't think I missed anything. I don't know. The show was kind of like it was fine, right? But we definitely have better Raws in past weeks. Yeah, that CM Punk versus Roman thing, like we just need to change it up a little bit. Like maybe next week CM Punk does get attacked by someone from Roman's bloodline, someone that isn't the Usos, by the way. Hell, give me Solo Sikoa. I don't care. Give me somebody getting involved here to kind of building that up so that Roman and Punk can just keep building their feud. But yeah, again, favorite part of tonight's show is we're definitely getting Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi, and there are zero complaints from me there. Other than, just get Brock Lesnar off my TV because he is who he is and he did what he did. Allegedly. Allegedly. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Since you've made it this far, make sure to drop a like, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to do all of the things that you do. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about any of this. I don't know. I talked about a lot today. Let me know what you think about any of this. Make sure to check out one of these videos. It's going to be somewhere on your screen. Check it out. It's probably going to be AEW Revolution, in my thoughts. Week 2 of being an AEW fan. If you guys aren't watching AEW, man, that was a fun pay-per-view. That was a really fun pay-per-view. Especially considering everything that I saw on Revolution. I tuned into Monday Night Raw and I was like, all right, this is a whole different show altogether. So like it took my brain a little bit to adjust after seeing that Texas death match, is that what it's called? From Revolution, because wow, what a match MJF and Hangman had. Anyway, though, since you made it this far, do all the things. Anyway, as always, until next time. I forgot how I ended this, but have a nice day.